And joining us now via Skype in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario is Donna Hilsinger. She's the general manager of, if I may say, the best darn hotel in Sault Ste. Marie. It's Algoma's Water Tower Inn and Suites, where I stayed when I was up there not too long ago on a book tour. And Donna, it's good to see you again. First question, since I'm asking everybody about this, we've got this Eye on the Soo happening, and I want to get a better sense of how business is. So how's business?
Well, business is great at some times and not so great at others. I think that's generally speaking for, certainly I'm in the hospitality business and I have a close sense of what's happening here in Sault Ste. Marie in that area. But I get the sense in the community that there's some great days and some not so great days, or great months and not so great months, and we persevere. The economy in general, as we all know, in Ontario and Canada and North America and globally is very challenged, and we're not getting away from that in any way, shape, or form. But we work hard, we do our best. We have some great, unique products in the tourism industry and hospitality industry in Sault Ste. Marie to showcase, and we're building some additional new ones. So we continue to forge ahead.
Now, yours isn't the only big hotel in the Soo. How's competition these days?
We have a little more availability of hotel rooms in this market than we have demand for right now from time to time. However, as I said, we are creating some additional new product, and we're working on some meeting and sports tournament business, and so those things are designed to help us generate some additional demand to help fill our hotel rooms.
Now, when I was up there, I saw that you guys put a lot of money into refurbishing some of the areas of the hotel. You want to say how much you put into it?
I think that over the last 5-7 years, we've probably put somewhere in the neighborhood of $3.5 to $4 million in our own property, and we have a totally refurbished and very new interior. In the hotel industry in general in Sault Ste. Marie, I'm very proud to say that over $30 million has been invested in private investment in the community, in upgrading almost all of our hotel properties, and a few new ones have been built as well. So we're well positioned from a Northern Ontario standpoint to be very key in terms of accommodations and other facilities and amenities that people are looking for, whether they're traveling for sports or meetings or conferences or tourism and leisure in general.
Now, I get that all of the metrics of the economy in Ontario these days are not fabulous, but they're not horrible either. Not as good as some would like, but better than where we've been over the last 5 years. But I presume you don't go to the bank and ask for a $3.5 million loan unless you think business is going to be good enough to pay it off. So I got to assume you're a little bit optimistic about the future, no?
Well, absolutely. I mean, there's two parts to that. Certainly, in our business, there's been a lot of development in the hotel industry in general, both North America and globally. And certainly there are standards that guests expect, and you can lose business because you're not delivering a product that a guest is interested in paying for. So that's one part of it. And then you also invest to position yourself for the future and take advantage of, for example, there's so many people, the baby boomer people, who are looking for great leisure vacations, soft adventure leisure vacations, and Sault Ste. Marie and Algoma is really positioned well to be able to welcome those people and provide the experiences that they're looking for. So there's a lot of growth opportunity in that in the upcoming years.
Let me ask you about steel, because of course when I was growing up, I'm from Hamilton, and when I was growing up, Hamilton was the steel city. And we actually used to think about Sault Ste. Marie because of course Algoma and Dofasco and Stelco were the, I guess, 3 biggest steel makers in the province. It's not called Algoma anymore. It's called SR Steel Algoma right now. It's not Canadian owned, it's Indian owned. And I wonder if things are different in the Soo because of those factors.
I think that the SR Steel family is a very welcome addition to our community. They've taken and positioned their business to a place that they think that they can, on a long-term scenario, compete globally. and they're sustainable, and it's I think that they're doing everything they can, and they'll continue to be profitable and be a very valuable part of the community. They are the community's largest employer, and they're a great bunch of people to work with.
Okay, but the number of people they're employing is probably what, a half or a third today of what it was 25 years ago? So is that a problem?
Well, I don't think it's a problem. It's a reality. That's just the way it is. And all manufacturing businesses are facing those kinds of challenges, and everybody's trying to, improve their output and their productivity. That's just the way the world is these days. And no business is immune from that. Even the hospitality business isn't immune from that. And, we're always working to improve our processes in order to, deliver the best value for the guest at the lowest cost possible. And any business faces that on a daily basis. It's just what you got to do.
Okay, your hotel is called the Water Tower Inn because it's named after that iconic water tower, obviously, that's right near the hotel. And I guess I want to ask, do you have any say over what happens to that water tower?
Absolutely, we have say over. We own that water tower. And we purchased it about in 2003. It was decommissioned by the city, and we were able to purchase the surrounding land and the water tower, and we're happy next year in 2014 to celebrate our 40th year here at Algoma's Water Tower Inn and Suites. And last year we spent a significant amount of money in refurbishing the tower. It was all newly painted, and it's got a beautiful new Algoma's Water Tower and Leaf logo on it. Looks fantastic. We've had tremendous comments back from people in the community about how great it looks.
Now, of course, people in Toronto see the CN Tower every day, but I bet you 90% of them have never been up it. Is it the same thing for the Soo, where people just know that water tower is there, but they don't actually go see it or go visit it?
No, you can't. I mean, you can get inside it and go up. We've done some interesting little jaunts with a few people up to the top. JJ, our owner, took our accounting manager, Sandy, up to the top of the water tower last year, and they had lunch on the top, all complete in their harnesses in a very safe way, and looked out over top of the city. You can get up there. There's a set of stairs on the inside. But no, it's not something that we offer as an opportunity for the public to do.
Okay, Donna, let's tell everybody, I met you a few years ago because you appeared on a sort of Agenda on the Road broadcast that we did in Sault Ste. Marie, and I remember very well you made, near the end of the broadcast, quite an impassioned plea in that broadcast for people to come to Sault Ste. Marie because you thought it was a fantastic place to live. And I want to know, all these many years later, if you're still as bullish about the place as you were back then.
I definitely am. It's possible even more so. I just think that this is a beautiful, beautiful community. It's beautiful for its people. It's beautiful for its nature. It's beautiful for the opportunity that it affords to families wanting to grow up in a really safe place with excellent access to activities for kids, whether it be soccer or hockey or dance or music. Any of these other things are very exciting to see the Algoma Conservatory expanding into the new Mill Square project, and there's just a lot of great things here. And I remember saying in that show before, I could, my kids were younger at the time, that I could leave work, drop my kids off at a lesson, go to the grocery store, come back and be home in an hour. And that's what it's like here. We don't have to deal with, if the traffic keeps you longer than 5 minutes, there's a problem. People get anxious, but it's just a beautiful, beautiful community. And I would encourage people to look at Sault Ste. Marie as a place to locate a family and to start a business, and there's lots of opportunity here.
Okay, but let me ask you the hard follow-up question, which is, I think I remember you telling me on my last trip that your daughter is in Ottawa at university now. Is that right?
She is. She's completing her 4th year in poli-sci and law.
Okay, here's the question: do you think she's coming home?
I do think she will eventually come home. She tells me that all the time, that she does want to come home. I don't think she'll come home after finishing school next year. She doesn't even know what she wants to do yet. But I think that in time, and we see that often, that people go away from the Soo sometimes to get an education and spend some time working in the workforce. And a lot of people then do come back because it is a great space for family growth and that time in your life. It's great for any time in your life, but it's certainly it's really important for that time.
Okay, a lot of people do leave. They go elsewhere. They do something else. And you say a lot of people come back. I mean, is that really true? A lot of people come back?
Well, I know many people who have left and come back. We see it all the time. There are a lot of people working in some of the bigger organizations, whether it's in healthcare or manufacturing or in education, who were away from the community for a period of time and have come back afterwards because they wanted to, make roots here for their own families. And I can't tell you what lots is, but I can tell you it's very common to see in the last 10 years people relocating in Sault Ste. Marie for all the reasons that I said, because it's less congested, it's more affordable, and it's safe. They can, they have access to what they need. And with things like Porter Airlines these days, if you want to get away to the big Toronto for a weekend, or Montreal or Quebec City or anywhere that you want to go, it's really easy and affordable to do as well. So we're away, but we're not isolated.
One last question, Donna. Have you ever been tempted to leave?
Oh, no. I think till my dying day, I will live here. I might over time spend more time away from Sault Ste. Marie, but I don't ever see myself living anywhere else. It's just too special.
Donna, it's good to see you again. Thanks so much for doing this.
You're welcome. Thanks, Steve.
Support Ontario's public television. Donate at tvo.org.